just released minutes ago the latest proposal to hit the table. Let's talk through the details. Welcome everybody. Hey, thank you so much for being part of this community. As you know, I am your daily advocate. I'm back every single day to keep you updated and to help you out in any way I can through these videos. If you haven't done so already, or if you happen to be new here, please make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, and I'm here to help you in any way I can. Thank you so much, and let's talk through this. So a group of Republican senators just revealed their counteroffer to the administration on the American Jobs Plan, which is the first of the two infrastructure packages, or otherwise known as stimulus packages, that are on the table right now. So this is the counteroffer that we've been waiting for a few days now, and we just got the details of this thing. So to put this into perspective, the previous offer that they had on the table came in at $568 billion. Well, they came out this morning with a new proposal and counteroffer at $928 billion. So they raised it by almost $400 billion. Meanwhile, the White House and their offer right now on the table is at $1.7 trillion. So they're still apart by about $800 billion, which is a ton of money. I get it. However, let's kind of talk through the details of this, because this is actually pretty good, and we finally have some more insight into the second portion of the infrastructure package, also known as the American Families Plan, or let's just be real, it's a stimulus package. We have some further insight into this based on their meeting this morning, and I think we have some pretty good indication of what's going to be coming in that second portion. So quickly, let's talk through this. So of this $928 billion, the way that they're going to fund this is they're basically going to go into that $2 trillion that I talked about in yesterday's video. Kind of interesting how this all came up last night. But either way, in my video yesterday evening, I talked about $2 trillion of the $6 trillion that Congress has approved so far of stimulus over the last 14 or so months. Well, basically, they're going to go into that $2 trillion that's still sitting there. It hasn't been spent yet. And they're going to pull out $700 billion and repurpose it for this infrastructure package. I don't know. Sounds like not such a bad idea, right? I mean, the money's laying there. Let's just grab it and start sending it out and repurpose it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not taking sides at all. I'm just saying if the money's laying there and we can grab it easily and quickly, I don't know, let's do something with it, right? I don't know, hashtag maybe stimulus checks or monthly checks, but let's get back to that in just a minute. So they're going to take $700 billion of that money that's already laying there, already approved, and they're going to use it for their proposal here. Now again, is this actually a done deal yet? Are they going to agree on this? Well, no, it's not a done deal yet. But in their proposal, this is what they're saying. So that's what they're going to do to fund the majority of their counterproposal. At the same time, they're also saying that they do not want to revisit the 2017 jobs and tax cuts that was passed way back in 2017. Remember that one? They're saying that basically boosted the economy and everything like that. But either way, now we need to see what the White House and the administration is going to say. However, based on their press briefing this morning from these Republican senators, basically they said in their meeting with the president, apparently the president, now I do not have exact quotes, but this is exactly what the senators said during their press briefing this morning when they unveiled their $920 billion plan. They said in the meeting with President Biden, the president basically said, hey, if we come together on a bipartisan deal and we do this, basically everything that's missing out of the package that I want, we're just going to pass it through in the next package. What's really interesting about that is we actually talked about this about, 3 or 4 days ago. We talked about how they can basically come together on a bipartisan basis and get this thing through, but anything that is missing in this first portion of the package, they're probably just going to pile into the second package and push it through with budget reconciliation. The point is, since the president made that remark, that comment saying, hey, if we don't get it done in the first portion, the infrastructure package, we're just going to get it done in the second portion of the American Families Plan. And at that point, they're basically just showing their hand saying, yeah, it's almost a guarantee that the second portion, the American Families Plan, is going to be pushed through with budget reconciliation. Now, I know that we've been talking about this for a while now, and you might be thinking, okay, this is great. I don't really care What about stimulus checks? I get it, right? The whole infrastructure thing, it's kind of boring. I totally agree with you. It's, you know what I mean? It's all about infrastructure, which is roads, bridges, water, ports, stuff like that. Kind of, it doesn't really impact us other than the fact then, it's things that we're using out in the real world. But many of us are wondering, what about stimulus checks? What about further payments? What about monthly payments to us? And that's where that comes into the American Families Plan. We basically have evidence right here that they're going to be pushing through the American Families Plan with budget reconciliation. With that being said, it's a pretty good likelihood that they're going to pile that thing full with everything that you could ever want and ever dream of, because with budget reconciliation, that's kind of how it goes. Provided it is within the rules indicated by the Senate parliamentarian, they can basically just pile it full of whatever they want, including stimulus checks, monthly stimulus checks, anything like that. You can add it in. There's no rule that says you can't. And in fact, that's what they did with the last stimulus package, that $1.9 trillion stimulus package that passed back in March. That's exactly what they did. They did on that one. There was no rule saying that they could not add stimulus checks. And they did, right? The 1,400. We know that they have all of these different letters on the table right now, these proposals on the table, including the $2,000 stimulus check plus $1,000 recurring every month. We have $2,000 plus another $2,000 recurring every month. We have this other letter from the House Ways and Means Committee calling on monthly stimulus checks included into, yep, you got it, the American Families Plan. We also have the other letter on the table calling on President Biden to boost SSI benefits to 100% of the federal poverty level. Since we're looking at budget reconciliation on the second portion, the American Families Plan, there's a pretty high likelihood that they're going to be adding these things, these elements into that package right there. There's so many people calling on a fourth stimulus check right now. Now, in my honest opinion, do I think there's going to be monthly stimulus checks and a fourth stimulus check? I honestly do think there will be a fourth stimulus check. Now, does that guarantee that it's going to be in there? No, it doesn't. Doesn't mean that it's going to be in there. But however, I do absolutely think there will be a minimum of a fourth. Do I think there's going to be monthly payments? I don't know. Honestly, I'm not even going to throw a guess out on that one because I have no clue. I feel like it's completely up in the air right now because with the current state that the country's in right now, could they justify sending out monthly payments to everybody? In some instances, because of my, like my letter that I wrote up the other day, yeah, I feel like in some instances, yes, they could absolutely justify sending out monthly payments to some people in some instances and some circumstances. But would they send it out to everybody? I feel like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know. But I feel like the likelihood of a fourth stimulus check is like incredibly, incredibly high. Incredibly high. So, pretty interesting. I'm glad that we got this counter proposal. We're going to have to see how they approach this thing. But, the deadline is looming near, as the deadline that they have self-imposed is on Monday. So that's like the last day that they basically said, hey, we're going to come together on a bipartisan basis, or we're just going to be done. And that's kind of it. Well, the deadline is just in a few days from now. So, wow, good stuff. I'm glad that we finally have this proposal, and we finally have further insight into the second portion, the American Families Plan, which it's almost a slam dunk. It's almost 100%. It's almost a guarantee that thing will be budget reconciliation based on some of the comments that were made in the meeting this morning. Not surprised one bit, but it's just nice to see that there's this confirmation that, yep, that's probably how it's going to get done. Side note, if you have plans on traveling by car or by plane this weekend for the holiday weekend, a new report that was just released, side note, this is pretty interesting. Gas prices are at a 7-year high right now. Yes, we have not seen gas prices this high since 2014. In fact, the national average price on 1 gallon of gas. Do you want to take a guess? Honestly, I haven't even looked at gas prices in a very long time, so I don't even know what they are in my area. But the national average is $3.04 a gallon, which is over $1 higher than they were last year at this time. So, ouch. During a time when so many people are struggling, so many people are just having a hard time even putting food on the table, you're getting slapped around with even higher gas prices. I don't know. Just something seems really weird about this equation that we're seeing play out right now. Higher prices across the board. Meanwhile, so many people are struggling. Does any of this make sense to anybody? I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't make sense to me, but I'm not really sure. Either way, I will keep you posted on all this stuff going on, but I wanted to bring you this as it was just released literally like minutes before I started recording this video. I basically stopped listening to it and pushed the record button, and here we are. So anyway, enjoy your day, everybody. I'll be back soon with another video. I'm going to go back and I'm going to check out more of this information, see what else I can file and find for you and bring it back to you in more information. But I'm here to help you in any way that I can. Thank you so much for being part of this community. Make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video if you haven't done so already, and feel free to share this video with your friends, family, and social media, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'll see you